Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to disassemble the forming head and bottom die box. So after the machine is turned off, go through your lockout procedure there. Make sure your power is off. So your power is off. Put your lockout key inside there. There's multiple people working on there. You can each put their own lock on. You should have a tag. I don't have my tag with me. And then we need to turn off the air and the water as well. The air is turned off back at the source.
Okay, so air off, power off?
Yep, so you want to de-energize the machine.
Okay.
Okay? Yep. Okay, so we can take the safety covers off. Just put them off to the side here. Okay. Disconnect our...
So that's power?
This is the cable that supplies power to our top heating plate.
Okay.
Okay? There's a proper way to put it in. There's the main pin.
Right. Pretty self-explanatory.
Okay? Put that in there. Okay. 19mm wrench.
Okay.
Actually, first thing we need to do is pull this off. Just put that down here. Then we have to loosen this off.
The roll. I'll help you with that. So what does this do? That controls...
Let me show you what we're doing.
That controls the safety?
This is the safety.
Okay, so that just gets moved over.
We have to pull it back because there's a piece here. We lock in.
So when you went far and it kind of tilted it back, you have to be gentle, or does it matter?
No, just far enough. There's enough room right here just to get it back.
So
because
like
we just need enough clearance just to pull that pin out of that hole.
So about an inch.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, that's critical when you're reassembling it because here you can see again.
Right.
We have a magnet right there.
Right.
And then I don't want to pull it,
You
but
see, there's a red magnet there.
There's a magnet
on the inside.
and then there's a reed switch inside here. Okay, because that if I don't put that on properly when I go to start the machine, I'll have that error message. Okay, so these move back here. Now what I can do is take off these bolts right here. Well, you're taking that off.
So you said that's a 19 mil?
19 mil.
Okay.
I'm just going to believe the wrench.
All parts on this machine are metric. It's important to remember everything is metric on this machine.
Okay.
Will do.
Normally, sometimes when you have to do this, the machines might be hot still because you've got the heating plate up to forming. I think it's 95 degrees centigrade. So you don't want to reach underneath there because that surface underneath is very hot.
Right.
So you just put these little handles on here.
It's important to tighten them all the
Lift
way.
it right up.
No, there's a lot of water coming out of there. That's
It's
a cooling water.
That's cooling water. Okay. So we just tilt it over. Now we can inspect the water. So here's a situation right there where we have some debris on there, and that's going to affect our heating. Okay, and actually too, right there. So this is a good thing every once in a while. Yep, you know. So in order to clean all that off, because here, see these little holes right there?
Yeah.
Okay, we want to make sure those are clean. These little slots right here,
Yeah.
they correspond with these little blades right there.
Okay.
Okay. Now this machine is what we refer to as a narrow upper web. So when the bottom web, it's gripped by the chains right here, but the top web, when the die comes in, the inside of the top web is just inside. So my evacuation takes place through these little slit holes there.
Okay.
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 From the
So it's important that it's
inside.
clean.
Yes. Okay. So we make sure we clean all that debris off. Okay. So let's just move that over here out of the way. Okay. We get our trusty suction cup. We don't ever want to take a screwdriver and try and pry that out because these...
Is that part of our tools, or is that yours?
We have them.
We have them. Okay.
Yeah,
The
those-
black ones, right?
Well, there's black ones for the bigger plates. These with the black roof in there. So all we do is just we pull these right out.
Okay.
Now these are forming plates. One thing we want to do is ensure that there are no nicks on here, because if there's a little nick here, that could potentially puncture the film and then cause a leak. So we want to treat these like crystal.
Like really careful.
If I should get some nicks on here, I get some really fine emery cloth and then just clean it up just to clean it up. So we can stack those all up. Those off on the side here. Okay. Inside the die box, because it uses the common die box not only for a 3, it's referred to as a 3-track. You also have an insert for a 2-track, and then there's also an insert for 1 single pocket. So we remove these, makes it easier to pull out, and I just take my insert right out. Okay? Now, here, once we have this out, what we should do is at every opportunity, clean this all out, because again, if I have any debris inside here, it gets drawn in through here. That's a vacuum hose that then is tied into my vacuum system as well. Okay? So just by damp cloth to clean that all
Now,
out.
do these come wider in this machine, or just other machines? Like, could you get it bigger?
It depends on, yeah, you can get them bigger,
Yeah. Okay.
but then everything changes, because right now at 170, that all corresponds to the,
So you'd have to change the blade as well.
well, the position.
Position. Okay.
Okay, unless it's a multiple, like for example,
Let's say I wanted to just double the width.
you'd have to talk to the technical department,
That's-
because it depends. I mean, if I had made it, what is it, 170, so 80, 65. If I made it 340, these would be 65 millimeters wider. But I don't know if you'd be able to do it on
Okay,
that
so
machine.
it's, alright.
That would be a multiple of 340, and it might move in there. So right now, one thing you want to watch, right here, these two right here, right now you can see they're in the down position. What they do is they lock the bottom die box. So what we have here is the bottom die box, and these are our die lifting blocks here that are tied into our die lifting system. I can remove this by just turning that at 45 degrees, so they're turned out and out, and that's tied into a little cam mechanism underneath. And then now what I can do is I can literally take my whole die box and lift it right out. Okay. Here I would have to remove those, and I could take my die box out for servicing if I had to do the bottom die or whatever. Okay. But it goes into one position. You can actually see right here. You can see there's just a little cam that locks the die box in there.
Okay.
And that corresponds with, just turn that around, with that little pin right there. That pin goes into that hole. So when I turn that, she falls right into place. I lock her in there, and now she's good. Okay? So with the bottom die box, one thing I need to look at, this is a common gasket. This is probably one of the gaskets that we replace the most. It's a toroidal seal, or a spaghetti gasket. Now, this gasket here, what happens is you can feel how it's proud. So whenever you have the opportunity, just feel it. Because here, this die box, or this gasket here, it seals up against the edge there. So it's important here to make sure that that surface is clean, okay? Because then that creates a good seal. If my film is in between this and that, if I don't get a good seal, I might not be developing the pressure.
Right.
Okay? So, and there is a proper way of putting these in. Just stop that just for 1 second.